That's the one. Coming at you fresh, coming from afar, it's 2C3 Pod DTCR. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Yes. Round of applause all round. That's right. It is time for 2C3 Pod DTC Does the Cinema. And this week, we had the pleasure of going to see one that was in Yassel Pass about 3 weeks ago, I believe.
Yep.
And it's got Oscar bait written all over it, but in the best way ever.
Absolutely. Now, if you're a fan of the show and you've been listening the past few weeks, I do have to apologise because I think we've lied to you over the past few weeks where we told our lovely audience we were going to see a film called Parasite. Unfortunately, our local cinema wasn't showing it like we thought they were.
Now, we've given a shout out in recent weeks to Avoca Beach Theatres who have kindly set aside a couple tickets for us and we'll be coming over the Christmas break to come and see you.
Yep.
And then we have our local theatre who's kind of like Avoca Beach, the Regal.
Yep.
And they play a bit more obscure films.
Yep.
But they very much let us down this week. They had advertised 2 weeks ago that Parasite was going to be 8 p.m. on Sunday. And on Saturday, I checked, and it was gone.
Yeah.
And they replaced it with something else with no notice.
Yeah.
So that was very disappointing.
I'm not overly upset, though, because we did get to see a magnificent film.
Now, we got to replace gold with gold.
Absolutely. We got to see a magnificent film called Ford versus Ferrari. Now, this film has been out for a little while across the world. We know it stars Christian Bale, Matt Damon, John Bernthal, Catriona Balfe, Josh Lucas, Noah Jupe, who's famous in a few things. We'll get to that later. And Tracy Letts. Now, directed by a man who's directed some magnificent films in recent history. He has a stacked career.
James Mangold, also known as the director of Logan and The Wolverine.
Yes.
As well as Night and Day, 3:10 to Yuma, which is an underrated film.
Yeah.
And Walk the Line. That's an Oscar-nominated film. You know, that's the one that Reese Witherspoon won her Oscar for, I believe.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, he's a very talented director as well. And the writers as well, you have the brothers Jez Butterworth and John Henry Butterworth, along with Jason Keller.
Yeah. So the film essentially tells a true story of two gentlemen who have been tasked with building one of the world's fastest vehicles because there is I think it's an annual event called the Le Mans race.
Le Mans, yes. It's been running since I think you're going back to like the 30s or 40s. Like
so
24-hour Le Mans.
Is that in France or Italy? Le Mans, so France.
I believe so. Oui.
Oui. French sticks.
Baguettes.
Cheese.
Did you say French sticks?
I did.
Baguettes. Yes. French sticks. Yes.
Yeah. So, it's a true story, and we'll get to the names in a moment because I don't have them on my screen. I can't quite remember. Oh, you've got them?
Yes.
Yeah. So go for it.
Yeah. So there's the American car driver who was the first American to win the race.
Yep.
Carroll Shelby, played by Matt Damon, and he enlists the help of Ken Miles, who's Christian Bale. Yes, Ken Miles, and they battle the corporate machine that is Ford, because Ford comes to Carroll Shelby and says, we're going to build this race car. You are the only one who's done it, who's from America. How do we do it?
Yeah.
And he knows that Ken Miles is the genius behind like racing and the mechanics of cars.
Yeah.
Where he can literally hop in a car and in the amazing Christian Bale way he does with his British accent in this, like hop out of the car and go, oh, it's a bit light, it's a bit this, it's holding here on the throttle, on the fourth gear, like he's just got that amazing mechanical brain.
And because Ken Miles isn't your typical everyday sort of
he's not a corporate guy.
He's not a marketed man. He's not a marketing man. You know, Ford tried fairly hard to replace him with other drivers, but Matt Damon's character Shelby knows that Ken Miles is the only man who can pull this kind of drive off, and especially the kind of car and build the right kind of car.
100%.
But I expected this film to be good, but I didn't want to see it initially simply because I'm not a huge car guy.
Yes.
But as we've discussed, this film isn't just for car nerds.
No. Oh.
There's a lot of enjoyment out of this film for anybody who's a fan of good cinema.
100%.
But I do have to give credit where it's due in terms of the writing. I expect, from the title, Ford versus Ferrari, I expected this to be more Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
But the film is more Ken Miles and Shelby versus Ford.
Yeah, that's exactly what it came down to.
It's not so much about Ford winning the race.
Yeah.
It's about Ken Miles and Shelby working together to win this race for them.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, if you're familiar with the history.
What are you going to spoil?
Is that
Careful.
Towards the end...
Oh, no. Don't say it.
He hops in a car.
Oh, no, that's it.
And there are certain troubles that they do follow.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Don't worry.
Thank God. Oh, good.
I'm just waiting for you to explode.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that back and go, oh, God.
Yeah. So there are some trials and tribulations that they do have to overcome.
Yeah, 100%.
But the film is more about the men involved, and it's more about the creative and passionate side of building cars. Yeah. And while I'm in the cinema watching this film, all I can think about is times over the years where I've had to work on my own cars, and when I owned a bike, I had to get down and gritty to pull that apart and figure it out for myself. And I'm not a car genius. I'm not a mechanic by any stretch of the word. Yeah. But it allows you to realize the creative side within yourself. Yeah. And as soon as you go home, you want to do something. You want to make something of your own. And I feel that this film inspired me, to remember the things that I do, like the podcast, like music, like fixing my own fucking car, for example, that those things are possible with enough time and effort. And these guys are at the forefront of storytelling when it comes to having that passion. They could have sat down with Ford and said, all right, whatever, I'm out. Yeah. But they fought for themselves.
Oh, big time.
They fought for Ken Miles to be the guy to win this race. And that
was all Carroll Shelby, because he was the big-time hotshot racer who was the only American to win Le Mans.
Yeah.
And they wanted him, hey, build this team and design the perfect car for us to beat Ferrari.
Yeah.
And he said, I want that guy. And they're like, not a chance. He's a hothead.
Yeah.
And he kept fighting, finally got him in the position and then there was that first Le Mans in 65 that he wasn't invited and Ken Miles wasn't invited. And it was so depressing, but so heartwarming at the end when during that race.
Yeah.
During 65 when he was working in the shop. And he was listening on the radio and knew everything that was going wrong with the car while it was over there because he designed it. He was the one who was tinkered and tested with every part of it.
Yeah.
And it's just that amazing story then over the next year and Shelby putting his business on the line for Ken.
Yeah.
And Ken having to win something here to go over there and all of this build up to Le Mans. And then finally it happens. And it's all a true story. So it's not really spoilers, but I'm still not going to spoil it because it is still a Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
As much as it's real or not.
Yeah, it is, as you say, zhuzhed up.
Oh, it's definitely zhuzhed up, of course, because the corporate battles that they face and the personal, I'm sure some of it did happen, but the dialogue, of course, had to be zhuzhed up and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is, like you said, it's a very inspiring, lifting story to keep fighting what you want to do. And then, the ending and everything involved with all of that, it's truly a fantastic film, and both of them, both Matt Damon and Christian Bale, they're both Oscar worthy to me.
I think so too,
and Christian Bale more so because the way he played that character, man, I was glued to everything he said.
At the very end of the film, there is a black and white photo of the original Carroll Shelby and Ken Miles after the race.
Yeah, after Le Mans.
And it shows what they actually looked like. And fair enough, obviously, as big, handsome Hollywood actors, they are both quite far departures from their original counterparts. Yeah. But I believe that the way that they... especially a Christian Bale coming off the back of playing Dick Cheney, where he put on a whole bunch of weight, lost his weight back down. He fluctuates his weight so well. I feel like he got into this character really well. And if I have to name a particular favorite moment, I don't think I have one apart from Christian Bale's performance as an everyman mechanic.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Who's passionate and given these who's given these opportunities.
Yeah.
But the film does obviously show that side where he was struggling and he nearly had to give up on his dream and all of this.
IRS audit, shut down, took his business, so he had to get a 9 to 5, and then Shelby came along with the offer.
Yeah.
Didn't tell his wife,
Yeah, it's not just about cars, it's about the family, it's about the friendship, it's about the creativity between these two men. And I think
you're 100% right. How many times during that film were we both, as in we didn't look or talk to each other, but there were those moments where he's driving the car and something good happens and he's like, oh yeah, baby, that's it, keep giving it to me. Things like that. And we were both just chuckling, as in the way he portrayed that character was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Favorite moment was basically any time he was driving a car, except maybe the last time. And then and then the spanner as well.
Yes.
Where he's like, I'll lob this spanner at your head, and blah, blah, blah. He says it and just fucking throws it. Yeah. Hits the windshield, half shatters. Then he's in the race driving. And the guy's like, what happened to your windshield? New design.
Yeah, I loved it.
It's fucking great. My terrible British accent, I apologize. But either way, man, pretzel rating, I'm going out of 5. This is a 4.3 for me.
Yeah.
I love this film. Top to bottom, man.
Okay.
Truly.
If I'm going to go out of 10, I'm honestly giving this a 9.
Yeah.
And I'm not comparing against other films.
No. This is this film. Yep.
There is very little special effects, CGI special effects. There would have been a few moments.
They would have had to have green screened a bit while driving the cars, of course, because of how fast they go.
Yeah, but in terms of the sets and like the races themselves and filming the car scenes, like it seems like there's very little, like, CGI special effects. 100%. It seems like a lot of it is filmed live, essentially.
But also at the same time, as much as it seemed like it was filmed live and they had the practical actual sets that they built, still a $97.6 million budget. So they've spent their money, like, as in it looks like a gorgeous film. Yeah. Top to bottom, everything. And we mentioned during Yassel Pass a few weeks ago about the Coke placement and that.
Oh, man.
But it was just that one scene. There was
a few more, but
if we wanted a product placement, how about in the fucking name? Ford.
Yeah.
Ford. Henry Ford II. We work for Ford. Ford. The Ford GT. The Ford Mustang.
But what I liked about that is that...
This makes me want to go and buy a Mustang, man. Just saying.
But I loved how... That's the thing. Like, I expected this film to be a Ford product placement.
Yeah.
The fact that they beat Ferrari, one of the fastest, most spectacular cars ever created, yada, yada, yada.
Henry Ford was portrayed as a dick.
The whole company was.
The whole company was a dick.
And they
Except that one marketing guy. Who recruited Shelby to begin with.
That's right.
That
so
one
John
guy.
Bernthal, he plays Lee.
Shout out to him. He was amazing.
Yeah. He's great in everything.
No, that's right.
But what was I saying? Yeah, so you expected this film to be all Ford.
Yeah.
But even in the film, Ken Miles, Christian Bale's character, explains why the GT Mustang is a hunk of shit.
Oh, yeah, big time. They bring out this huge unveiling in that, and he just pulls it apart before old mate, the vice president... played by Josh Lucas, who always plays an uptight asshole, but he's so good at it.
So great at it. So shout out to Josh Lucas.
Yeah, no,
and Noah Jupe, who plays what's his name, Peter Miles. So he's Ken Miles' son. You may know him as the mute kid or the deaf kid from A Quiet Place.
Oh, right, yeah. I didn't even pick off on that.
Yeah, if you Google Noah Jupe, he's been in quite a lot, but that was
IMDb him.
Yeah, either one. Google IMDb and then
exactly.
So everybody in this film played their characters to a T. It was 100%. A beautiful film. It was the pace really well.
Yep.
The driving scenes were magnificent.
Honestly, I left that movie thinking it was about 90 minutes long. 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's a long film.
It didn't feel like it at all.
Filled it out so well.
There was no.
Props to you, James Mangold, and all the actors involved. You made a fantastic film. Ford versus Ferrari. Go check it out while you still can.
Yes.
You don't need to be a car fan or a car nut or a mechanic to enjoy this film.
I barely know how to put petrol in my car. Still loved it.
Yeah, it was a great film.
Fantastic.
Great storytelling.
Top to bottom.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well,
that's been our show, ladies and gentlemen. You can certainly find 2C3 Pod, Two's Company, Three's a Podcast, TCTP on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 2C3 Pod.
That's right, and I'm not scrolling for the script either, Dylan. We are available on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Big Summer Blowout. That was me mocking you.
I did read my line.
I know, that was me mocking you, though, because you changed your tone while I saw you scrolling.
Oh, right.
I've had it sitting here for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, but you can buy a small bit of merch. You can head over to tpublic.com and support the show in a way that does give you something in return, other than just paying into a Patreon. You can you can find a t-shirt, you can find a hoodie, you can find a sticker, you can find a mug. Just search 2C3 Pod or Two's Company, Three's a Podcast over at tpublic.com.
100%. And if you would like to get into contact with us with any concerns or considerations or suggestions or anything, Two's Company, Three's a Podcast at gmail.com.
Now, we do have, as I've said earlier, 2 episodes of podcasts every week, 4 videos every week, every Wednesday and every Friday. Subscribe on all platforms. Check it out. Don't be afraid to get those automatic downloads as soon as they're available.
That's right.
Oh, fucking hell.
Every week, Dylan, every week.
Every week.
Would you like to say your next mate?
Thanks for tuning in.
And don't forget, we are Two's Company and you are the podcast.
Hey, thanks for checking out that video of Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. We really appreciate it. Wasn't it really something? Why don't you drop a comment down below while you're still here on what you thought about that video. And once you're done, go check out the next video. Feel free to hit subscribe as well. I think it'll be a really good investment for your future.